Yay! Welcome to another episode of Something Super Spiritual Live, everybody. I have the amazing, beautiful psychic medium teacher extraordinaire, podcaster extraordinaire, voice actor extraordinaire, Ann Teato, live from London. Wow.
Hello, everyone. And hi, Jeff. It's great to be here. Thanks so much for the invitation.
Hi, Ann. I'm so happy to have you here. You guys, Ann was on my podcast, season two, episode 2. If you want to take a look at that. And I was on her podcast, Psychic Matters, episode number 94. You got to check that out. It's been a great fun just connecting with you this way and putting ourselves out there together and just doing this work together.
Yeah, likewise. It's really lovely.
How's the weather out there in England today?
Well, you know what? I was saying to you just before we came live, I've been at the beach today, which is quite unusual for the UK. We've had a bit of a wet summer, to be fair, but today was beautiful. And so I just took some time with some girlfriends. We all took a little piece of a picnic down to the beach. So we had a big picnic and the dogs came and we got all sandy and bobbed about in the ocean. And I'm looking a little bit sun-kissed.
I love that.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Good day.
It was a good day. Really was.
It's a good day. And it's 10:30 at night for you. So thank you for being here so late.
Hey, it's such a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I'm a night owl, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that works. I am too. Yep.
Are you, Jeff?
Guys, also we have Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Ness. Hi, Sylvia. Hypnicity. Hi there. Subi. Hi, Sue. Thanks for being here. Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Maura. Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Arme. Hi there.
Hello, all you lovely people. Thank you for joining us here.
So, Ann, why don't you kind of give us a little introduction for those who haven't met you yet?
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you very much for giving me airtime to do that. I'm Ann Teato, and I'm a medium and a psychic, and I've been working in this profession for quite a few years now. I got my first tarot cards when I was 17, so that's quite some time ago. And I have studied mediumship with the Spiritualist National Union, so I'm actually... Here are my certificates.
Oh yeah, there they are.
Yeah, the hallowed certificates.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Well
you.
done.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I am a certificate holder of the Spiritualist National Union, which I'm very proud about.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do teach the topic of mediumship and psychic stuff. And and I have a background, as you mentioned, as a voice artist and an actress. And I have a podcast, just as you have your wonderful Something Super Spiritual. I've got my podcast, Psychic Matters. And it's great, isn't it, Jeff? Don't you think having a podcast where we're able to share our knowledge with other people and not just keep it all to ourselves? Let's share it out.
Yeah, and share each other. That's my favorite part, is just sharing each other.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. Yeah, it's nice, right?
Yeah. Your voice work is really phenomenal. I listened to one of your reels, I think is where you have little examples from different projects.
Oh, I'm on YouTube with a voice reel. That's right. Yeah, a cartoon voice demo. That's right. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's only about a minute long. Yeah, and I play all those parts. I play all the jungle creatures, all the crying babies. All of that is my voice. And even the air horn at the end, that's my voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go to school for that, or did you just play around with that and discover all of these different characters within yourself?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I did go to drama school, but I didn't learn how to mimic or things like that at drama school. I did learn voice projection and voice support and all those kind of, vocal exercises. Of course, I did learn that, but I learned to be very playful when my children were little. So in the car on the way to school, they used to sort of say to me, why can't you be like a normal mum? Why do we have to have this crazy car journey every day? Where I'd make up the voices of the passers-by and what they might be doing and where they might be going and create alternative worlds.
I love that.
It was so fun. I had a good time. And then I used to read them bedtime stories, of course, in the different accents, in the different characters and things. And that's how I learned to play. And it was easy because the kids, I mean, your children just love you for whatever you do, really, until they're teenagers. But when they're little, they're like, is just so, they're just so lovely to read to in funny little accents because they appreciate it so much. And then you get all confident and yeah, so it was good. That's how I learned. Yeah.
What a cool journey. Have you noticed that how that might have attributed to your work, your spiritual work?
In what, how do you mean, Jeff? What do you mean by that?
Like, well, for me, I had struggled with an extreme fear of public speaking.
Oh, right. Did you?
So, working through this every time I get on screen, every time I'm with somebody else, it's getting better and better. But like, yeah, did you notice that for you? Were you always pretty extroverted?
Yeah. I always was really. Yeah, I didn't have that problem of standing up in front of people. I think it's because, do you know what? I put it down to being Roman Catholic because we were always forced, my family were always forcing you to go and read the lesson in church and you ought to stand up and say these really complicated words that you could never pronounce, like Corinthians and and you'd make a mess up of it and everyone would laugh at you and you soon got over yourself. So
Yes.
yeah, that's kind of how I got up in front of people to start with, I suppose. And then I've enjoyed it. And it's helped the spiritual work in terms of when you're a medium on platform, even like this, in speaking in front of people, you it sort of helped with that. I've lost my train of thought. It's helped with that because it just makes you more confident on the platform when you're standing in front of a church, a
Sure.
spiritual church, and you've got your congregation. I'm not worried about speaking in front of the congregation. I'm hoping that my mediumship will do justice for the people that have arrived.
Right.
And that's my concern. I don't have to be concerned also about standing in front of a group of people. So yes, it has helped in that regard, Jeff. Yeah. How have you managed yourself? Like now where you're at, do you find all of that much more comfortable?
How have I managed? A lot of therapy, a lot
Yeah.
of hypnotherapy.
Right.
I've struggled with depression and anxiety most of my life. Well, all of my life, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
And there's this new treatment that I've been doing with the company called Mind Bloom that really it helps rebuild your neuroplasticity, your pathways or something, whatever in your brain, right?
Yeah.
And so it strengthens all of that. So I don't know if it actually lessens the fear or increases the resilience.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think
Yeah.
it might be increasing the resilience because with this therapy, it's 6 sessions of microdosing ketamine therapy. So they're little tablets of this ketamine that it's almost like it feels very similar to meditation for me or hypnosis,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like this is too big of a word, but like forced meditation. You can
Yeah.
come out of it if you want to, but you're just there, and I travel. So what like my biggest thing, my very first session, listen to this. Within 10 minutes, I saw my 3-year-old self, my 3-year-old inner child. And I grabbed that little boy and I loved on that little boy. And I told him to not listen to anybody who says you're not enough or you're not worthy or you're not lovable or, you're wrong for being gay, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And right away, I looked into his eyes and I immediately remembered what it felt like on my insides before being exposed to doubt, fear, shame. I remembered that feeling as that little boy.
Beautiful.
And it hit me so deeply because from that place is such power that we can draw from, all of us on our insides. Because we've all come through our own childhood traumas and even adult traumas, a trauma of a massive divorce or the trauma of a terminal illness or the trauma of losing somebody. But to recognize that within me, I think that it's increasing the resilience for me. So that's how I'm getting through it.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's so interesting, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
really fascinating.
It is
And I love
fascinating.
that, increasing the resilience, because I think that's how we get through life, isn't it? We just become more and more resilient to the challenges every time something comes up. Whereas 15 years ago, I might have ranted and raved and crumbled apart. Now I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
let's just deal with this next thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, totally. Like I've thought about it. It's 6 sessions and I have one left to do.
Uh-huh.
And after I'm done with the 6th one, I'm going to do a full podcast solo talking about all of my experiences and all of my ahas and spiritual downloads, and just it's so helpful for so all of us, really.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it does increase the resilience. I was thinking, is my fear less or is my resilience higher? And I think I'm stronger. Like you said, with each experience, we get a little bit stronger. We get have a little bit more of a space to encapsulate our strength and our confidence, and yeah, it's really amazing. Really amazing.
Yeah, I love that. I think as we progress through the human experience, we come from soul and then we become so human, we get so caught up in it. And then I think we return to find that deeper meaning and why we're here. We're always trying to return to our source, the
Yeah.
source of us and who we are and what is important.
Yeah.
And I think we become more accepting of others and less judgmental and all of these things as we go through? Or is it because we've had trauma, hence we appreciate other people so much more and their journey? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's both.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's both. Yeah, I think it's both. When we are on this path and really conscious and aware of spirit, and we're pinged with pain,
Yeah.
resentment, anger, judgment, right? We're pinged with all that because we're human beings with this ego, right? And when we immediately have the ability to recognize that and kind of catch ourselves and wonder, okay, what is it within me that is how am I recognizing this within myself? Because we don't notice anything in anybody else that we already don't notice in ourselves.
Yes.
Right? We're all reflections of each other.
That's right.
And when we get to that point where we do want to heal and we do want to grow and we are consciously working on our own development and our growth and evolving, to be better human being, to be kinder and more accepting. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, I think it's both of what you just said, for sure.
Yeah. Get wiser.
Yeah.
We're still very human though. Sometimes
Oh my goodness, yes.
so challenging.
Totally.
You don't become this perfect. You don't reach enlightenment, I don't think.
No, and that's just it. Giving ourselves permission to be messy. We have to, you know?
Yeah.
And if there's a day that you just have to throw a temper tantrum, you know what? Make it big.
Do it with gusto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this last Friday, you guys, last Friday, I don't know how many of you caught it, but I was live, or I wasn't live. I was on Linda G, the Comanche Psychics YouTube channel. We did a pre-recorded session last Friday at 11 a.m. and she released it about 1, I think. You want to talk about fear, Anne? Like I wasn't sure what to expect. I know that she has a lot of followers. And I mean, I really had to do some serious breath work before going on with her because of, I was getting in my way, presupposing whatever, and yeah, you guys. So my world blew up this last Friday in the best of ways. And I've gotten so busy, which is truly amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
And Ann and I were talking about earlier. So you guys, I know a lot of you have been used to me doing Wednesdays and Fridays, but when I'm doing 5 readings a day, coming on a Wednesday, and it's time to get on here and go live, I'm a little bit fried. You know what I'm saying? You have to honor where you are and what you're capable of. And so I've had to like kind of step back from the Wednesdays for a couple of weeks to really just kind of give myself some space to breathe. And Ann and I were talking about giving ourselves that time to take a break when we need to take a break. All of us, you know, we're all so busy. We're all so busy with our work, with our family, with our evenings, you know, and that's really important.
Do you know, it's starting being so busy all the time, and I'm sure people watching and listening will completely understand because everyone's the same with all the emails coming in and everything and all the demands. But it's starting to make me feel ill. It's starting to make me feel as if my body is doing this inside from top to bottom. And I can't keep up the pace of that I set for myself. It's my own fault. I'm putting things in my little red book.
Yep.
So having that time out today on the beach, and yesterday I went off with my best friend and we went to an upholstery workshop, and I learned how to upholster a chair. And it was just beautiful doing something completely different, not in front of the computer, out doing something practical, out in a beautiful place with someone chatting, someone teaching me something instead of me teaching someone else. It was just so beautiful. And I am determined, Jeff, I hope you are too, and everyone listening, let's all do this next week. Find that time for ourselves. It's so vital.
It's so true. We have to give ourselves some time to recharge. Yeah. And, you know, it goes back to that same old, I don't know if it's a cliche or saying or what, but, you know, you have to apply your own oxygen mask first. And if you don't, you're no good to anybody around you.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone did say that to me once. I think it might have been one of my brothers. And I was like, oh, you don't understand. It's just, I'm too busy. Too busy to put it on. But it is very true. Very, very, very true. Yeah. So the benefit of that is taking that time out meant I lost 2 days in my office doing stuff. But the benefit is I'll be able to work faster and more efficiently when I go back into that office.
Truth.
Because I tried to keep going and the stress I was doing wasn't achieving anything, going around in circles.
Mm-hmm. Truth.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You guys, you ready for some readings? You ready to get into some little mini readings with everybody?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're at 10 minutes to the hour. So yeah, so let's get into some mini readings. You guys, if you have any questions for us, please write them in the comments. They're in capital letters, so it's easy for us to spot them like this. And you know what? I wanted to say to Sharon, thank you so much for your moderating. Thank you for promoting Anne and her podcast, her Twitter, her, all of her stuff, my stuff. Thank you guys so much. It's amazing. Sue B, thank you for being there too. The moderators are amazing. This community is amazing. Are you on YouTube? Are you doing YouTubes?
Me? Yeah. I do have a YouTube channel, and I checked it last night, and I've got 165 followers, which is great.
Yeah.
But I haven't made any little videos yet because I keep getting sidetracked with human stuff. So I do very much intend to launch that big time over the next couple of months. So yes, I am. Okay. Psychic Matters is my YouTube channel.
Psychic Matters. Are you going to do live streams?
I don't know about that, Jeff. Let's see how we go. Okay. Maybe you'll give me courage to do it.
I will absolutely be with you. I would love to join you and hold your hand.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so Keith, hi Keith, I just saw your name there. Suan, Bee's Knees, T Barb. I think I saw Rita somewhere too. Hi Rita, if you're still there. Okay, so here's some capital. Here we go. All right, T Barb. Can you look at the rest of the year for my 13-year-old love Shiloh, German Shepherd and constant companion? Aw.
Oh, beautiful Shiloh.
So T Barb, you know what? I just have this feeling that Shiloh is slowing down. And I don't want to give hard news, you know, but I feel this slow down. I feel like I don't is it back problems or like back or hip problems? Okay. I really, you know what, I was just gonna say I really want to encourage you know, just love bombing Shiloh to smithereens. But I know you're already doing that. I know you're already doing that. Are you feeling anything, Anne?
Well, similarly, T-Barb, I feel as if he's still, I want to put Shiloh on a cushion quietly in a corner at the moment, as if he's, I mean, I know it is a fact that German Shepherds have issues with their hips and things like that, but it's interesting that I went directly there to his back legs or his back feet. So I don't know if he's got an issue with his one foot or both feet, but I see him very still on a cushion and really enjoying the family atmosphere. That's the feeling, really just being, just enjoying. I don't know if he sits in the kitchen or if you said that in your message there. I can't remember what you put up in your box. But there's a feeling that he's really enjoying the atmosphere in the kitchen. It must be warm there. I don't know if he's sitting near a heat source that is warm, but it feels really comfortable. It's like his, you say a happy place, but it's his comfort blanket place. That's the feeling. So yeah, and I would say most definitely he is really enjoying the company of you. And I don't know if you put head to head, where you put your head close to his or his nose comes here to you, but I feel there's some connection going on there between you, which is a meeting of minds. It feels beautiful.
Yes, she sits wherever
Air
air conditioners in the kitchen. Yeah. And T-Barb, I just had this flash. This could be a metaphor, but I just had this flash of Shiloh licking what looked like, I don't know if it was ice cream or but white frothy white foamy stuff on her nose. And it just felt like this real treat, you know, like an extra treat. So and it reminds me, I've never gotten one of these, but it reminds me of one of those like pup cups that I don't know if it's Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Somebody does these little cups that are specific, and I think it's like whipped cream or ice cream or something. But anyway, this yes, okay. Well, where oh there we go. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is do that. Do that. There's this real sense of just extra.
She's beautiful. I just feel the sense of her. She feels really like a wise old soul. That's the feeling that I get from her.
Yeah. All right, T-Barb. Well, everybody send T-Barb and Shiloh some love. Aaron has a question. Hi, Aaron. How can I better suppress my shyness? Oh, I'm shy. I am naturally shy. And when I go out to social events, I don't mind hanging out in the back wall and just watching everybody, it takes me some time. And I don't know so much like that I suppressed it, but rather just embracing that side of myself and giving myself permission to step outside of my comfort zone. And even if it's just with, a couple of people at first, I understand that feeling. I really understand that feeling so deeply. What do you have to say, Anne?
Well, Erin, that's lovely what you've said there, Jeff, especially as you understand it so well from your own experience. And it always makes me feel a bit sad to hear something like this, because it's as if you feel that there's something wrong with being shy, whereas there's nothing wrong with being shy. You don't have to suppress it. If that's how you're created and that's who you are and that's your personality, then that's to be celebrated. Surely there's something wrong with a world who wants you to be something other than who you are. I think that's where the problem lies, frankly. So who are you suppressing it for, be mindful of that and I would say, step into the power of you. You're a quieter person. You're a gift to humanity. So many people come blundering through the door with a big loud voice. You're like, oh my goodness. I'm sure that you'll the feeling that I'm getting just by just feeling into you there a little bit. Is this softness? There's a great softness to you.
Mhm.
And there's a great um there is a great observer within in you of life as well. And I actually feel as if this is a phase that you're going through. And I wonder if you've withdrawn because of things that have happened and you've become quieter, because I see you actually coming out of this again a little bit more as you go through the next 3 to 5 years. I see you becoming a little bit more vocal, but I think it's because it feels to me as if you start to step into the power of Erin and who you are and the gifts that you bring, and you become more confident about yourself as a person. So I would say nothing wrong with being shy. I think it's beautiful and a gift. Yeah.
Yeah, and to echo what Anne said, I do feel that this is something that you will absolutely overcome. And like I was talking about earlier, to just kind of bring this a little bit full circle, you'll increase your resilience to that feeling of stepping into your outside of your comfort zone. And it gets a little bit easier and a little bit easier and a little bit easier. Takes some time, but it's really just about, giving yourself permission to just be your fabulous, nurturing, loving, shy self.
Yeah.
And there's
Perfect
absolutely
time.
nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
but I also hear that you're saying, it's getting in the way, obviously, and I understand that too. So, what I always do, I always drag a friend with me, to hold my hand, training wheels. And that's awesome, to have that a little bit more extroverted friend with you. That's kind of like the icebreaker or the buffer, that's
That's a
totally
top
okay.
idea, actually, Jeff. I love that idea, because your friend, who's perhaps a little bit more forward going than you are, can say, and this is Erin, and Erin is also interested in this. And do you want to talk about that, Erin? Yes, no? So they can sort of introduce you into the conversation as well, which is always really helpful.
Yeah.
If it's any help, I may be quite extrovert, but I really dislike meeting new people. I get really quite I would much rather watch a room and just see who comes up to me rather than me blundering in to talk to everybody else. So I do understand.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I much prefer to be quieter and yeah. When people get to know me, of course. Woo! But I'm sure
Doors
it's the same
come
for
off.
you, Erin. You know, when people get to know who you are, I bet they're, I bet it's amazing, but it's just breaking that ice.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Erin. Hope that helps. We're sending you our love.
Yeah, and that lovely dog you have with you in your picture.
Oh, sweet pea. Hi, Sonia. Okay, so more capital letters. Here we go. Oh, Sonia. Sonia says, "Can I get a message from my guides and angels for me, please? And thank you." Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Sonia, are you working out what your next move is going to be? Because I feel as if I'm being shown a chessboard or a board whereby you have to move the pieces, like a drafts or chess. And I wonder if you're trying to work out your next move. And it feels to me as if the I'm not sure that this is coming from your guides or angels. That's the fact. I'm not really working in that way. I feel I'm working more psychically with you here, which is my soul to your soul. But I wonder if you feel you have to wait for certain things to come into alignment before you can move out of a set of circumstances. Does that make sense? That's the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, Sonia, let us know if that. Oh, yeah, she says yes, trying.
Okay. And it feels to me on the back of that then that there's not much you can do until other things around you move. So I feel like you're in a bit of a stalemate at this current time, but that things will move. Things can't always just stay the same, the same, the same. Do you feeling into that, Jeff?
Yeah. And prior to you starting to deliver what you said, Anne, I was feeling this sense of that that stuckness that you were just talking about. Just kind of feeling this almost like impatience, like trying to get this going, trying to get and within that, Sonia, I really want to encourage you to be sure and take some time for yourself to connect with yourself and your spirit and your guides, because it's within that where we are open and receptive and grounded, where we can really start to come back into ourself, become more balanced and grounded. A lot of people get that feeling out in nature. When we're out in nature, we become grounded with the earth. We become centered within ourselves. And I feel like this type of, I guess, self-care is how I want to describe it during this process as you're moving forward. I really want to encourage and remind you how important that is, that it will fill your cup as you're moving forward. Does that make sense, Sonia? Oh, I see it. I see a yes here, but I'm not sure if that was. There she is.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sonia. We're sending you our love.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, T Barb. Shiloh's loving the ice cream.
That's so sweet.
You're welcome. Okay. Guys, we have other questions. Here we go. The do-over. Hi, the do-over. I'm moving from Michigan to Florida for financial reasons. I'm nervous because of the political climate and I'm moving into the Bible Belt. What are your thoughts?
I'm not really sure what you're asking.
Yeah, the do-over, you know, I completely understand that. I absolutely understand that. I feel very blessed where I live. I live in California in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's a little crazy right now, but you know, when it comes to people's points of view, they're much more progressive, much more, and you know, I mean, there are problems in that too, but I understand what you're talking about with regard to the political climate and the Bible Belt. The I don't feel that it is going to be any type of deterrent for you, or like I don't feel like you'll feel so much oppressed, or in fact, quite the opposite. I feel like that you are coming there with your own light and your own voice. Um, yeah, it doesn't feel negative to me. Although I understand what you're talking about, but it really doesn't feel negative to me. Wonder if the do-over is still here. Do you have any thoughts on
um, I guess what the do-over is asking is how do we feel that's going to unfold for them in that move? I think that's
yeah.
possibly that's how I'm interpreting what you're asking. And for me, it actually feels as if the neighbors are going to be really nice. It feels like there's either a really nice neighborhood or your immediate neighbors are going to be really kind and really nice. And so to move into somewhere like that, it feels very nurturing. So that's how that feels for me.
Yeah, it doesn't feel bad
Mm,
at all. At
yeah.
all. Thank thank you, the do-over.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Hypnicity says that she didn't realize that Florida is the Bible Belt. I think that maybe northern Florida, because it's so close to Georgia, Alabama, and you know, it's kind of a little bit closer. I really don't know personally, but I think the northern part is anyway. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Lisa has a question. Hi, Lisa. Can I please have any messages from my higher self and my guardian angel?
Hi, Lisa. Messages from my higher self. You know, you can hear those for yourself, right? If you if
Mhm.
you take here's an exercise for you. We will feel into this for you, Lisa, but here's an exercise for you and anybody else who's listening to get your own advice from your own higher self. Just take yourself into a place of stillness first. Just focus on your breath, focus on your breathing, and then just imagine that you are in the most beautiful garden or mountaintop or somewhere really, really beautiful. And just go and sit there literally to meet with your higher self, like they're another person, and sit with them on a bench and ask them all the questions that you need answers to and listen for the answers in here and in here. And that's a really beautiful way. Do you have another exercise like that, Jeff, or would you kind of do similar
Oh,
thing?
I do. I do that all the time. I in a lot of my psychic readings, people are asking about their guides, and you know, and you know, for me, our spirit guides, they're very personal. It's very personal to me. So I am not comfortable telling somebody, oh, your spirit guide's name is Bob. You know, it's like, and I look at it this way, like if when we have a baby, like how do we feel about other people naming our baby? You know, we're so dialed in and connected to our spiritual team. So I do that. I ask them to close their eyes and I walk them through pretty much like what you did. And you know, let's go into this meadow and you're on a path and here comes here comes somebody walking towards you. And this feeling from them is a feeling of recognition, familiarity, this smile, their open arms to embrace you in this love that is so familiar. And in that embrace, they tell you their name. And I say, what is the first thing? Very first thing that comes to your mind, bam. Don't second guess it. And it's very beautiful to watch them cultivate this immediate connection and recognition and new conscious relationship with their guides.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, that's really
So
beautiful.
yeah. Oh, back to Lisa. Okay.
Yeah, so back to your message.
What was the question? Okay.
Okay, so what do I feel for you, Lisa? I wonder if there's some family issues going on around you. Look, all of us have got family issues going on, all right? You're not alone. But I wonder if this concerns your mum. And I wonder if there's something going on there between the two of you where there's a disparity or there's a disconnect or something, because I feel like there's energetically a distance between the two of you. And I feel like the love is so fierce, it can be destructive because you passionately care about each other. But I wonder if there's fireworks going back and forth. The feeling is, oh God, I just feel this immense love for you from your mum, actually. That's what I really, really feel. It's like she wants to speak to you. She wants to get through her stuff to get to you, and you want to get through your stuff to get to her. And you're desperately trying to meet each other in the middle. That's what it feels like. I don't know if that's a thing for you. But it feels like it will come right because the love between you is so passionate.
And Lisa, I was also feeling that this is a really fruitful time for you with creativity. It feels like the ideas and inspiration are really coming to you. And you know, I say this consciously knowing that it is Mercury retrograde right now. But I love the Mercury retrogrades. There's an empowering feeling that I feel within this period. And it's about stepping back. It's about taking a look at where we are and just kind of rebalancing and resetting and allowing ourselves to be open and receptive. But I feel like these ideas and inspirations are really hitting you in a way that it feels to me like there's like it feels creative to me, like you have a voice for people, like a voice. Like I don't know about a YouTube show, but it feels like you have something to share and you have this healing vibe about you that is a light that people will be drawn to. So it just feels like that this is a time where you're going to be hit with your messages from your high self, from your guides, from spirit as they nudge. They go boop, boop, boop. Does that make sense, Lisa? Have you felt any of that yet? Are you still there?
You still there? Maybe she went home.
Yeah, it feels really good. All right, Lisa, well, we'll send you our love. Maybe you got a phone call and you'll come back to this later. We'll send you our love and thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hypnoticity asks if I was born with a Mercury in retrograde. You know what? That's a good question. I've never looked at that. I've never noticed. But you know what? Here's another thing. You know, Anna, maybe you haven't even been consciously aware of this yet. But have you noticed your mediumship readings within Mercury retrogrades?
No.
So, so Mavis, Mavis Patella, the great Mavis Patella,
Of course.
she loved to do platform readings, whatnot, during full moons. She used to talk about the full moon and how that affected her in the way that it did. Um, but for me, I've got a friend and a friend of the show. You guys might remember Dina DeCastro. I'm going to have her on one of these lives shortly. Uh, Brilliant astrologer, brilliant. And she did a show where I had done a reading for her. I hadn't even realized that I was doing it during a Mercury retrograde. And it was fantastic. I mean, it was fantastic for her. And she started to think about the energy in the Mercury retrograde and how we are, Mercury is about communication, right?
Yeah.
Communication is usually upset somehow during the Mercury retrograde, whether it's, the computer, the Wi-Fi, that whatever goes out. But she made a point about how we are communicating with the other side, and the Mercury retrograde being all about communication and how it strengthens that particular aspect with this communication, since we're speaking to the other side. And ever since I've just noticed that the readings in the Mercury retrogrades are just really, I don't want to say that they're better, but maybe this thought for me just feels really good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but yeah, I just found it very interesting to think about.
Yeah, brilliant. Really brilliant. Good question.
Oh, Lisa, you don't understand what I was talking about. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. Thank you for answering. Did you understand what Anne was talking about? Oh, here we go. She's up here. Yes, but my mom wants nothing to do with me or my older sister and brother, so we have nothing to do with her. Oh, that's what you're feeling. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, bless you. I'm sorry to hear that, and that's really painful and very difficult. Family life can be so hard for us here. My feeling is that there's a real love between, but that you're just not connecting. That's that feeling. And I stay with it. I still feel that there's room here for that connection to come back. So don't give up hope on that. That's what I would say. And I understand. Yes, it is. What is that too?
Yeah, she was with what you were saying, with what you were just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Lisa. Yeah, so I think stay with it and be open. And also, it's I've got family members who don't talk to me either. I know, it's shocking. Why? Why would they not? Who knows? Whatever. And it's a bit of a one lifetime, what am I trying to say here? We live many, many lifetimes and our souls are infinite. And so this is just this one life, okay? Your mother may not be talking to you now, but when we all go to the spirit world and we reconnect, we'll understand what we learned from this human experience, and that reconnection will come back again. So yeah, so it's a one lifetime. It's just this one particular lifetime. Don't worry too much. We've got many more to come and many more reconnections to be made.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how family, we come into this world and we choose our family, our friends, the place we're born, the culture we're born into, all of this. And these challenges that we struggle with are so difficult sometimes, especially when we're talking about family,
Yeah.
So yeah, my heart goes out to you.
And also, Lisa, maybe what you can do to mitigate things is sometimes we can't get through to our family member and we just have to leave it there. And there's not much to be done. But the love that you have not received from your mum, you can have in your heart and pass on to someone else. Whether that's an animal or a child or a friend or someone in need, a neighbor, you can mother someone yourself in the way that you always wish to be mothered. And that's a beautiful way of stopping that. I'm not going to pass that on. I'm going to do things differently.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Where did I see? Oh yeah, Spirit Watcher Suzanne. Hi, Suzanne. Yeah, it's all to do with learning lessons and our growth on a serious note. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It's true, Suzanne.
You know, and I think we get to a point, or it's part of our work to get to a point where we really find that space of grace within us, where we truly just kind of step back, detach from it all for a moment, because when we're able to step back and really view through the eyes of compassion, and recognize that, you know, this challenge is here to help us grow, and when we fill that space with grace, you know, it kind of gives us a little bit of a little softer side with respect to that whole difficult situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And energetically, you know, it's so helpful for us that are dealing with this, and even for the other person energetically, you know, when we're detaching from that drama, so to speak, and just recognizing, you know, we can only do what we can do. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So you just, yeah, you just, I feel like you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
All right, Lisa. Oh, Mary. Mary, I'm feeling separated from my guides. I meditate, but don't feel it as I once did. How can I reconnect? Great question.
Yeah, that is a great question, Mary. Thank you very much. So you meditate, but you don't feel like you used to before, which is good, because quite often with our development spiritually, it changes. Just when we get to a safe space, everything changes around again, and we're trying to learn. We move on to the next part of our spiritual development. So it can sometimes feel like a bit of a separation, but it's just a change in how things are moving. That's all. Don't feel. How can I reconnect? Well, what would I suggest? I guess I'd have to know a little bit more about what you're experiencing there, but let me see.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
Mary. I'm sorry, Ant. I'm sorry. I didn't
no,
mean
go
to
ahead, Jeff. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. If you're here, be at the keyboard at the ready, and if there's anything that you might want to add about what you're experiencing, that might help us a little bit. Help you.
Yeah. I wonder if I think sometimes we do get disconnected from our spiritual life when human life just takes precedence, and we're dealing with all the things that are going on in our human lives, bank balances and bills and family matters and issues. And sometimes it can, when we come to meditate, we're not in the most receptive, peaceful, still place where we would like to be in order to really feel our guides and the spirit world coming close. So so how do you do that? That's a question. It's a good question. Let me just think about this. I would be not trying to sit and meditate. I think that's probably the answer. I think you're doing it wrong. I think get yourself out for a walk. Take yourself with your guides. I'm going to go walking with spirit today. I'm inviting my spirit guides to accompany me. But everything I see on my walk, I want to look at through the eyes of my soul. And I would love my spirit guides to bring things into my awareness on this walk that I may know that they are with me. Maybe it's bird singing. Maybe it's a beautiful flower that nobody else has seen. Maybe it's something that appears in the sky. Maybe it's somebody you meet who has an extraordinary conversation with you. But when you have the intent and focus to walk and spend a couple of hours in the company of spirit, my goodness, it's beautiful. So I would do it that way.
I love that. That's exactly what I was going to say. Get yourself outside,
Yeah.
get yourself outside. I think that when we struggle with meditation, then we need to get up,
Yeah.
just get up.
Yeah.
Because, even after meditating for, I don't know, almost 20 years, I can still sit down and be like, ugh, and I
Yeah.
just get up, and then I take myself on a moving meditation, where I go outside and I really connect with all that around me, the nature. I live right next to the water, so I'm connecting with the water and the water shore birds and the the trees, the grasses, the parks, the hills, the owls. There's so much out there, and when I find that I get out there, it's like a reset. You get out. First of all, physically, you're getting your heart pumping, right? You're doing something great for your physical body, but you're really putting yourself, especially with the intention of I'm going out I have to check out to check back in. An old friend used to say that years and years ago. I have to check out to check back in.
Yeah.
So give yourself permission to check out and just go. Get yourself out there. And I love what you said about noticing a flower that somebody might not have noticed, or hearing a bird that nobody else is listening to.
Yeah.
Because I often talk about that with these moving meditations where we go out on a walk and we really soften our gaze. We soften our self on the inside. And like for me, I love to try and hear the farthest possible thing away that I could possibly hear. Is it an owl hooting, blocks down the road? Is it the duck that's floating, a couple blocks away out on the bay?
Yeah.
Is it the bzzz of a bee flying by that I would have never heard if I wasn't, completely open? And I in all of that, there are messages from spirit in all of that. And the more relaxed we get, that's how spirit gets in. That's where the messages come in, and that's where we get pinged.
Yeah. That's it. It's in the silence. It's in the doing nothing. That's when they will speak to you.
And it's in that relaxed state. And even though we're walking and not like literally relaxed like we are when we're sitting on a pillow, it's awesome. So I second what you said.
Enjoy it, Mary. Have a lovely
Thank you,
walk.
Mary. You know what? Let's take one more. We'll do one more for the collective. How's that?
Okay.
Oh, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Hi, Lola. Hi, Sylvie. Captain Morgan. Oh, it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you for a little while. So I just pulled a card for all of us.
Oh, lovely.
And I love the message because given what we were just talking about, expand your horizons.
Ah, perfect.
And this is really about reconnecting within, checking out to check back in. And in doing so, when we get to that space, like we were just talking about, that is expansion. When we are at that place, like when we hear that little buzz go by, or the hooting of an owl out in the distance, or the barking of a dog, excited dog down the way, even the rustling of the leaves. When we're hearing all of that, we're in an expanded state. So I want to encourage all of you this week to really kind of give yourself an opportunity to go there and do that. Spirit's nudging and waiting for you.
Beautiful. Really beautiful, Jeff.
Thank you. What do you have to say?
Well, I've just pulled a card for all of us, and it's got love written on it. That's interesting, isn't it? I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And as I look at that card on behalf of all of us gathered here in this space right now, I'm looking a lot at the color red, which for me is power. And a lot of the questions we were asked today seem to be about us remembering about the power that we all hold within and stepping into the power as a human being and stepping into our power as a soul being. Knowing that Jeff and I, of course, are here taking your questions, but on other nights when you've got questions, you can sit in the power of your own soul and receive the guidance and wisdom directly from source yourself. So nobody really actually ever needs to go and see a psychic or a medium. We can do it all for ourselves. It is nice because we get confirmation and affirmation. But just to remember that you are love itself, that we're just love expressing love, expressing love. And there's a lot of power in that. So yeah. Thank you.
I love that. You are love expressing love, expressing love.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Anne, thank you so much for being here with me tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. It's been so nice. And thank you, everyone who joined us as well. It was really great.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. You all have an amazing Friday night. I know for me, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. For you, Anne, it's 11:30 at night. And for everybody in between, it's, somewhere between 3:30 and 11:30. So, all right, you guys, I love you to absolute smithereens. Thank you so much for joining here. That's Something Super Spiritual. We'll be back again next Friday. I'll have another great interview for you next week. And if any of you have any, I've had so many amazing emails regarding that show I did last week with Linda. And for all of you in here who have been emailing me and the readings, thank you. 1,000 thank yous for all of you. Thank you. All right, you guys, have a wonderful weekend.